Hello, everyone. I did a quick little post regarding these cards that are out right now because I had separated the deck in order to shuffle. And these are the cards that had came up. Forest, Be Quiet, Locomotive, Pattern, Spectacles, Deer in the Headlights, and Hospital. Hope everyone slept well, has a good day, and a good night. I miss doing my Google interpretations, but I don't have any room on my phone or any videos to be able to do them. If anyone's interested in helping me out, please go subscribe on that other channel so that way I can go live on the other channel and then I can continue arguing or going back and forth with Google. I miss doing that. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have waiting patiently. That's our overall energy. This is a picture. I don't know if you can see it because it's in pencil, but it's a picture of a little dog who's waiting on the couch with a little treat ball right there and waiting to be told, yes, it's okay. You can go have your treat ball. Go ahead. Right? We're in the waiting stage. Center of the spread or center of the deck, we have our water glass. How are you seeing the situation? Are you finding it fun waiting? Is it challenging for you to wait? Is it difficult for you to wait? Are you getting irritated about having to wait? It's good to question yourself. This is also a card about authenticity and transparency. Or maybe it's very clear that someone needs to wait. And it is also my Aquarius card. Oh, I didn't turn on my little earth. I guess we're going with the clear today. Pixie, just have some fun while you're waiting. This is supposed to be the pixie haircut. Just have a little fun. I mean, it's nice and cool. It's up off your neck. You can relax. Maybe it's clear that someone is waiting patiently and they are pretty relaxed. They don't have anything hanging on their neck. Or around their neck for that matter. I don't know why I was thinking garlic. Maybe they're thinking someone dabbles in those kind of practices and they expect this person to have all kinds of things like that, but there's nothing around them that would indicate anything like that. We've got a sleeping warrior. Someone's resting well and fighting battles in their sleep that they don't even know about because they've got their little guardian angels here, our little guardian warriors that are doing all of the fighting for them in the astral or the spiritual planes. Literally, she's sleeping and has no idea what's going on. That way, she's able to wake up and have a good day without a care in the world or a worry because she doesn't know what's going on. We've got the purr, we've got contentment here and spiritual protection. Just like I was saying in the warrior card. She just lives her every day. She, has her connection to the Most High, and the spiritual realms take care of everything else. Whether it be ancestors or angels or whatever else there may be out there that I have no knowledge or information about. This is all new to me as far as angels and ancestors and things of that nature. Probably in the last 4 or so years. I guess ever since I started using the cards. We got a little whiner down here. Don't be jelly. You're okay. You're okay. No. Get closer so I can pet you. Come on, get closer. I can't reach you. Isn't that something? Sometimes people want something, but they're just staying out of reach of it. And they'd rather sit there and cry instead. Anywho, we've got our spiritual protector. I don't know if you know, but cats are the spiritual protectors, whereas dogs are the physical plane protectors. Cats usually will determine or find who who their parent will be. So if you go to a shelter and adopt a cat or whatnot, perhaps let the cat come to you. Maybe someone's in the market to get a cat. I had gotten a cat from the shelter. She was a beautiful Bengal. And when we first got her, of course, they go through that adjustment stage of wanting to stay under, benches or what, to get acclimated. But the place where we were staying was a very spiritually, I don't know what the word is. I want to say that they were maybe the complex was built on burial grounds because it was like in the hills or the canyons. And I remember my son at the time used to say that he used to see like the Grim Reaper there. And then my daughter's seizures were active there. And I had once prayed for those who had passed over and trying to pray for them and speak and tell them that, there is still time for you to go to the light and to go to the Most High, so that if you're stuck here on earth, then you can find your way there. And as I was doing that, I was lying in bed and I could feel myself being pulled into the mattress. It was a weird, very weird experience. It was almost as if someone was like, do not pray for them. Do not tell them that they can still leave this plane even in the afterlife. Anywho, the point in sharing that part of it was to share the fact that the cat was very uncomfortable, I should say. It took her a very long time to want to come out from where she was trying to hide herself. And then, of course, the incident had happened with my daughter's dad that created the situation where we all needed to go to a shelter. And then, of course, the courts implemented a 10-year restraining order against him to stay away from me and the family. Anywho, my point in bringing that up is the fact that I mentioned let the cat come to you, of which the cat did come to us, but it was unfortunate because the environment that the cat was sensing was not a safe one. And the cat knew this before we did. So I ended up losing the cat because I put the cat into, I want to say storage, but she was in like at the vet's office where they house the cats for people who are displaced like that. And I would come in and make a payment on her storage or her fees, and they kept telling me, oh, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. And I'm thinking, wow, this is really nice. And then when I came to pick her up, they said I owed a whole bunch of money. And I was like, I don't have the money now because I was trying to give it to you before. And they said, well, sorry about it. So because I couldn't pay, I had to leave the cat there. She was a Bengal cat, as I had mentioned. That was sad. But anywho, it is to somebody's amusement. that all this is going down, perhaps. Maybe someone's amused that someone actually even believes that a cat is a spiritual protector. Someone's amused that someone's willing to wait so long to go on such a short ride to experience 5 minutes of fun. We've got this hoot hoot owl all out in the open, ready to speak. And it even looks like daytime here. Hoot hoot owl is a little bit out of its element at this moment. Tired of being quiet, tired of observing, tired of being stuck up in the tree with nobody seeing it. This hoot hoot owl is ready to speak and share its wisdom and knowledge about all those little people who were lined up just to get a little amusement. They all wanted their day at the park, right? And they thought, hey, we can go ahead and get on these rides, have some entertainment at the expense of others. We've got our blueberry here. Sense of entitlement is why I did the blueberry card, because of the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie. That little kid in there that he turned into a blueberry because they want it now. I want it now. No, you have to be patient. You need to wait. It builds your character when you build patience and you wait. Don't be so entitled. But the hoot hoot owl is going to go ahead and educate someone on the fact that they need to be less entitled. They need to slow it down, please. Don't be so quick. What are we being quick about? Oh, a commitment. Don't be so quick in signing up. Don't be so quick in committing to something. Don't be so quick to make an agreement. Oh, to the witch's hat. Someone found it funny, huh? Agreeing to this whole witchcraft or witchery. Someone thought that that would be their fastest ticket in. We've got storage, holding on to belongings, memories, extra stuff. Keeping it for another time. So is someone going to put off doing the witchcraft for a while? Are they going to give it a break? We've got snails. Well, the evidence is clear, right? New day. We have the RAM here. Either the RAM has to do with RAM, like your memory in your computer. RAM could be trying to shove somebody's point of view to make it the right point of view. Probably trying to give reason to why their entitlement was just so legit, or that they were privy to this, making excuses for their behavior to roughly force into place. They really wanted whatever it was they wanted. It's an uncastrated male sheep. It's real close to that rabbit, right? Impatient, determined, optimistic, irresponsible, argumentative. Most compatible with Aquarius, Gemini, Leo, and Sag. So it's also an Aries card. So we've got Aries and we've got Aquarius on the table at this moment. Evidence of a new day. A fragile new day. When you're not invited to the funeral. Do you ever wonder why you weren't invited to the funeral? Detox. They were trying to get rid of somebody. Creative at the studio. Dodgeball. So apparently by you not being invited to the funeral or not inviting someone to the funeral, they were able to dodge some kind of creative act that happened at a studio. Maybe somebody wanted to make it look like you didn't care, or they wanted to make it look like you had passed away yourself. They're trying to dodge the past or have it appear that you just did not care. We've got an opportunity here. They wanted you to miss out on an opportunity. A creative opportunity. They wanted to be able to get rid of that opportunity for you. Headphones. They didn't want you to hear about it. That's why you weren't invited to the funeral. Footsteps, a mentor-mentee, or a parent and child relationship here. Could be a boss and a whoever works under the boss. What is that called? Subordinate? I don't know. We've got a blockage. Wanted to block your footsteps. Didn't want you to hear about the opportunity. Wanted to block your way. Wanted to block your opportunities. Didn't want you to follow in the footsteps of possibly your parents. They were busy at work and they wanted to fight against you. We've got the hawk here. They didn't want you to be all the wiser. With all the crows pecking at the hawk. Have you ever noticed that? It takes like 3 crows against 1 hawk. It's like, seriously? And the hawk is unbothered. And maybe that's what's showing or being exposed with the zipper. This creative project at the studio. Maybe they went to a studio to do this witchcraft on somebody, and that's being exposed. We've got a waterfall here. An explosion of emotions. It's nature's pathway. It's what was intended. It's eroding the earth. And the pathway that they took is eroding. It's almost like a beautiful phenomenon to sit there and watch how somebody's decisions land them where they are. We've got bloom, a flower pot or flower bushel of flowers. Maybe someone's going to get their opportunity. Someone's going to get their flowers. Bangs, blooming regret. So whatever it is that they were asking or wanting you to dodge or wanting you to miss out on and not hear about and not be able to build upon, and they were fighting you for, that's being exposed, all it did was create massive regret on so many different levels for this person or these people. We've got the lion here wanting to follow in the footsteps. We've got the lion and it's underneath the ram. Maybe the ram wanted the lion to fall into their footsteps because the ram was entitled. And they needed this lion for some reason in order to be able to do what it was they wanted to do. We've got the pelican. So instead, they wanted to block the lion. And they wanted to make them extinct and use them for every part of themselves for their own benefit. They thought that the lion was taking away from their resources or taking away from what was available to them. In case you didn't know, pelicans were on the endangered list or almost extinct twice. The first time was because they would hunt them for their feathers, and they would make purses out of them, and they would make flutes, and they would make powder puffs and things of that nature. The fishermen thought that the pelicans were stealing their food or stealing their resources by eating the fish in the ocean, when it's like the fish are there. The fish populate. And then pesticides, poisons or whatnot came and started destroying the pelicans' eggs, which made it so they couldn't sit on them, hatch them, and create a family. And both times they came back from that. We have a vehicle, automotive. So somebody's car in a dream, if you dream about someone driving your car, it means someone's driving your life. If you're dreaming that you're driving your car, that means that you're in charge of your life. The car is a symbol of your body. So in this case, they were in instant regret for trying to, we've got past life. Perhaps they did it into you in a past life. Maybe they were successful in a past life. Pharosophone. This is the person that was taken from her family and she was made to get married to the underworld. This is the queen of the underworld. She didn't choose the life. She was made to have this life. She was taken against her will. This could be anyone who's watching this video who was perhaps this person or whatnot in a past life. And perhaps in the current life, there's different things going on. Maybe someone's finding out their connection to this character. Interesting. Fifth card, fifth row, we've got cheese. There's some holes in somebody's story. Someone's only got part of a smile on. You could tell that their smile is fake. There's a hole in someone's cheese, like their finances. And it's becoming quite apparent and obvious. Trash. Maybe someone's just smiling in your face. Sasquatch, something very elusive. They can't get a hold of. They don't know if it's real or not. Maybe someone doesn't know if this Leo is really, truly who they appear to be. I don't think the Leo is trying to make themselves appear to be any kind of way. I think other people with the ram insinuate that this person is who they are. They're the ones that are trying to line the steps up for this Leo. But the Leo is on doing their own thing. Perhaps they're trying to trash the whole need to even be elusive. And that's coming from their eyes and their interpretation of it. The Leo is just living their life. Keeping a very sunny disposition even while they're in the frying pan, even when things are tough, even when they're being hunted, even when they're being poisoned and hit with pesticides. This person, this individual, doesn't have to be a Leo, but it could be someone who has those kind of characteristics. Someone with a lot of self-respect, holds their head up high, loving, generous, loves their family, Even though they're in the frying pan, though, they still have this sunny disposition. They're still trying to provide nutrients or nourish the people who are around them or they come in contact with. We've got the goat. Groat? Is there a Groot? No, that's Groot, right? Greatest of all time. This is also a Capricorn card. Sure footing. Having a goat in the little animal petting zoo. They come and they kind of gnaw in your pockets or whatever else you have hanging out. Feed me, feed me. We've got the number 4, a place of stability, earth angel. I wanted to say vulnerability, but I think I meant to say vulnerable. Innocent, pure, sometimes naive. Maybe this person became an angel in a past life before their time because of what had happened. The goat is also the devil card in traditional tarot. Someone could have become obsessed with this individual. Maybe they're obsessed with how this individual handles themselves, even under the pressure of things. But mind you, this person is entitled to somebody's livelihood. Maybe that person wasn't invited to the funeral because in a past life they weren't even here. Maybe it was their own funeral. But then, of course, I guess you would be invited to it then, right? We've got It's a Wrap. Trying to mummify somebody. Could be someone from those parts of the world who use mummification. Could be a parent, a mother. Someone is bound. It's finished. I can't see the pencil. Ancient Egypt, treated with oils, resins, and salts, wrapped in linen. A religious burial. A preserved body after passing. Someone might be taking good care of themselves. They didn't expect that. There was a time, when was that? Maybe not 2020, probably 2023, when I went on my leave of absence. I literally told my dad, who's no longer with us, I feel like I'm being hunted. It was the weirdest experience. And this, mind you, this was when my coworkers said and disclosed that yes, they do believe in witchcraft and spell work and that they do participate. One said she does participate in witchcraft and spell work. It was the most bizarre feeling. It wasn't even who I was. So for me to say that to my dad, it was kind of weird to even express those words. So who knows? I could have been out, like, living out a part of a past life experience. But it was like in current times where it was going to repeat itself from the past, but it was something living right now in order to work through those situations, or a path that was meant or intended to repeat itself from before, and somehow it was dodged. I'd often thought, my ex, the one that I spoke about, that perhaps he and I were in a relationship in a previous life, and the things that were going on in this life had to do with whatever it was he thought that I had done to him in a previous life, and that he was taking it out on me on this life, when there was no rhyme or reason to why he would even treat me that way. Because literally I did nothing but help and love this individual. I was always honest and upfront. I was very transparent and authentic with this individual. So I found that interesting, because I try to make rhyme or reason to things, and that was the only thing I could come up with, was that it was a past life relationship and he was still mad. And who's to say anything even happened in the past life relationship, considering we have the Pharisophone here. She didn't even have a choice. She was just in the pathway and in that life because that's what it was. Past life Pharisophone. Body with the automobile. Extinction with the pelican. Lion, the Leo. I'm Leo, in case anyone wanted to know. Someone's having regret about what they've done in the past. Maybe they're seeing for now, or now they're seeing finally that this person is kind of, they're kind of nice. Right? They're bright and sunny. They're nourishing. They're giving. Doesn't matter what situation they're in. From one out of the egg into the frying pan situation, they are pretty great at it. They're still really nice and kind and loving to other people, even though they're going through hardship and craziness. They stay pure and innocent in all things that they're involved in. And it's just the end of it all, folks. No more. I call my energy back, and I suggest you do the same thing. My energy is my own, and I don't give permission to anybody to use it or have it or manipulate it in any kind of way. I refuse it. I didn't sign up for a contract, ever. I never agreed to anything. I won't make an agreement to anything unless I know I'm going to follow through on it. Just saying. So if I didn't sign up for it myself, it's not a valid contract. We've got something that's sprung and it was so distracted that it forgot its pee. It's coming to the surface. Something is about to spring. Someone's road rage. Someone is getting just so frustrated they can't even help themselves. They're not even seeing the fact that you too could have been in someone's blind spot. Can you not take responsibility for that and understand that other people are human just like you? Someone's bored. Taking the plunge. Peacock. Bored. We've got the spring springing out and up, right? And then we've got pretty much like a board, like a flat line. And then we've got a plunge, something that comes down, jumping into the water, into the emotion. Is someone so rageful that they've just raged themselves out? Like they can't rage anymore. They've hit their limit, and all they can do after they've gone up is to come right back down. To swear. Honor, making an agreement. Someone's word. Taking pride in their word. Now, I have to say, to swear, I had to do a little bit of research because I know that when our current leader of the country was sworn into office, he didn't put his hand on the Bible, and I had wondered if that meant that the oath was still viable. I was just curious to why he wouldn't have done that. And in the Bible, it says that you should never swear on a religious text, because if you're needing to swear like your word isn't enough, then you're actually dealing with the evildoers themselves. Because if they can't trust your word, they obviously can't trust their own. Someone is proud of somebody for staying true to their word. Through the hardships, through the road rage, through the rage in general of what was going on around them, they still stayed true to who they were. During the times of waiting, during the times of the unknown, during times of just taking notes and posting them on a flippin' bulletin board. They made do with what they had. They stayed connected to their emotions. They stayed connected to what was going on around them day and night. And someone is proud of them for that. If not themselves, are proud of themselves. There was a lot to deal with here. Things that were going on that they had no idea that were going on. They stayed authentic. They stayed a joyful heart. They stayed playful. And they waited patiently. It's a wrap. We've got the egg and coffee here, new day with the new day card, right? Start your day off with a nice egg and some coffee. Whack is upside down. We've got oops upside down. It wasn't a mistake, folks. They knew what they were doing. They wrote the song. This is lyrics. Everything that they had tried to do was a plan to do it. Someone's spilling the beans. Perhaps on a new beginning for someone. And it's not going to be a sad story. It's not going to be a whack story. It's literally a song in the making. It's not a mistake how this all happened. It was meant to be this way. As raw as that may feel, we have a witness. The Colts and Covens is the card that I saw with that when I was taking that out. There is a witness to the Colts and the Covens, and maybe they can go ahead and back up and verify the fact that I saw all of those weird flowers. I'm going to say it again. I've said it so many times. But there was a nest of flowers in a shopping cart in the center of where we worked, and there was none of that bush around in that center. I checked. And when I looked up the meaning of those flowers in Google, you know, you take the photo and it tells you what they are. They're actually a medicinal supplement for heart support. And don't you know, I was having heart issues during that time. And I was on my way to the doctor's office in order to figure out what in the heck has been going on. Call it coincidence, perhaps. But when you have people saying that, yes, they do dabble in such things, and you point it out to your assistant manager and say, doesn't this look weird that it's here and there's no bush like this around? And she goes, yeah, that is weird, in a very nonchalant, matter-of-fact kind of way. It's hard not to put two and two together. Perhaps there is a witness who is involved in all of that who's going to come forward and say something about it. We've got Judas, monster. In one regard, it's the person who's going to betray their group, possibly betray their cult and their coven, or perhaps they already have. Or perhaps it's someone that you know very closely and you adore, or maybe you have high respect for and regards, who's the Judas. They witnessed whatever they did become a monster. Middle, last, or first, initial E. Nickname E. Manifesting. On the wrong track. They're not training someone anymore on witchcraft. Perhaps this monster was training someone on how to do it. We have bored upside down. They're no longer bored like they were before. Just done, final, finished. I think it's time to go ahead and take care of you. Detox, I think that card was in here. Detox your mind, body, and soul. Please be mindful when you do that. You don't want to over detox as far as minerals is concerned. You can get too many minerals in your body, just like you can have too little minerals in your body. But just like we were patiently waiting for something to be discovered, uncovered, exposed, you made it through. You made it through like the hawk being hunted and poked and prodded by these crows. Stay pixie, okay? Make it a great day. Make sure you stay hydrated. Just keep your eyes open for the opportunities that are going to show themselves. But don't be too quick to jump on the first one or without doing your research on it. Because even though it's done, finished, there's still that shadow period, right? With that being said, make it a great day.